everyone, and welcome to another episode with me, Ash. And today I really want to talk about a different subject, which is depression, and how you can help alleviate the symptoms in a natural way. So, what is depression? We may or may not know, but depression is actually a byproduct of an imbalance of hormones within the brain, and this is mostly commonly found in the Western world and in the Northern Hemisphere as well, mainly due to our lifestyles and due to the environment as well, like a lack of sun. I think we have to realise that we've not actually come to this earth to constantly feel depressed. That is why we have an emotional guidance system to show us what emotions feel good and what ones feel bad. We're meant to actually experience a life full of pleasure, but we've come so far from our roots that we've been ripped straight out of Mother Nature. So if you've landed on this video, it's probably because you want to heal yourself from depression or know somebody who could really do with this kind of information. So I want to just award you for actually making that step to finding this information, because hopefully we're going to get you onto the right path to become a positive person. So let's get you educated and create a new and uplifting life. So let's move on to number one. Okay, so our number one tip will be the diet. Now, like the saying goes, you are what you eat. What we consume has a major role in how we feel. Eating a diet in processed foods, incomplete foods, denatured foods, foods that are not whole foods, will help you feel empty inside. Eating a diet rich in fresh fruits and vegetables will give your body the nutrition that it actually requires to feed every cell in your body, including your hormones. There are actually some natural foods that contain a natural high called tryptophan, and this is an amino acid that is actually found in bananas. You just have to look at monkeys and how they behave. As well as that, I would also look at incorporating some EFAs into your diet, essential fatty acids. So just look out for these, and watch that you don't get too many saturated fats, especially from animals. So here are some good EFAs. So we have safflower oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, flax seeds or linseeds if you're in the UK, some dark leafy greens, spirulina, and a small handful of nuts and seeds every other day. These foods are also high in magnesium, especially the dark leafy greens, nuts and seeds, beans and lentils, avocados, whole grains, go for gluten free, bananas, dried fruits, and mangoes as well. These foods that contain the magnesium will actually help you feel more relaxed and more well nourished, as magnesium is actually one of the most important nutrients for our bodies. So eating a raw foods diet will raise your vibration, eliminate toxins and stress from your body, and will actually restore your well-being too. Incorporate as many raw foods and raw fruits and vegetables into your diet as you can. The benefits are remarkable. Okay, so now we're on to tip number 2, which is stimulants. Now, these are things that you want to avoid as much as possible, and our first one is a major player in making us feel good and bad at the same time. It's refined sugar. Now, when we consume foods and drinks high in sugar, our body's sugar levels spike and we get what is called a sugar rush. Not only can this lead to type 2 diabetes, but when your sugar levels plummet, It's going to make you feel down and depressed and sluggish. And this is exactly what could lead to depression if you keep repeating this cycle. So avoid processed sugars when possible, and switch to a more natural whole plant, actually, which is stevia or licorice root powder, which is very sweet too. I'll put some pictures up here of stevia and the licorice root as well. So that's our first main guy. The second victim is caffeine. Now, similar to sugar, drinks that are high in caffeine or foods high in caffeine will stimulate your adrenal glands and pump through fight or flight response hormones into your body. These are like the same ones you'd get if you just come across a lion in the wild. It's a natural instinct. So there have even been severe cases where energy drinks that are high in caffeine have caused people to have heart attacks and die. So long-term use of caffeine is not good. It's also been linked to adrenal fatigue as well, adrenal failure, and then once that happens, it's very hard to get your body to restore it to its natural state. So while the going's good, start to heal yourself now. There's still things that you can enjoy instead of the coffee. There are herbal teas like red tea, which is caffeine free. You can even try lemon teas with ginger. And it's more of a refreshing start for your day, and it will balance your balance out your energy more as well. So, who's the culprit number 3? Culprit number 3 is chocolate. Now, I can imagine for most of you, your faces are, very sad that I'm saying this, but chocolate is your best friend for most of you, as it stimulates your endorphin glands inside of your brain and makes you feel happy. But it also contains a neurotoxin or brain toxin called theobromine, and studies have actually shown that long-term consumption of this toxin can cause a variety of issues as we get older, such as prostate cancer, there's nausea, vomiting, headaches, restlessness, anxiety and sleeplessness. Now, it sounds to me like those are one of the major things that you feel when you are depressed. But don't worry, be happy, because there is an all-natural, all-healthy alternative to chocolate, and it is called the carob bean. It can be purchased in a powder, or there are even some health bars that are now using carob instead of chocolate, because it doesn't have that stimulating effect. I especially like to use carob in my Choco Carob milkless shake. The recipes will be up very soon for that. So yeah, switch to carob chocolate, and it tastes very good indeed. Okay, so here we are, guys. We are now at number 3, and number 3 is drugs and alcohol. They are far from what nature ever intended us to consume, and both are very destructive for our overall health. Abuse with drugs and alcohol kills cells in our bodies, and especially within the brain. You just need to look at these people who have long-term abuses of drugs and alcohol, and they're not all there 100%. So you don't want to end up like that. And if we haven't got our brain cells, we haven't got our brain in healthy function, then what controls our thoughts and actions is our brain. So the same goes with our emotions. Our heart and our brain are linked, and we need to keep both in good health. So avoid alcohol and drugs. As far as pharmaceutical drugs are concerned, they've been designed to kind of hide the problem, not really treat the root cause. So many people in society have become dependent on them. When the symptoms come back, here's another kind of drug. It's not really actually healing or dealing with the main problem. You know, especially when it comes to depression, taking antidepressants, you know, which actually contain fluoride, a lot of them. Now, if you know about fluoride, you don't really want that in your body at all, you know. I'm talking about sodium fluoride as well, not calcium fluoride, which is natural in plants. You know, this stuff's toxic to us, especially to our brains. So, you know, I'm going to put a link down below where you can find some more information on fluoride. You know, but, you know, while I say this, we can't actually recommend, you know, you stop taking all your medication. You know, like, I think you need to take our advice and then slowly, you know, go back to your GP and maybe decrease your intake of these pharmaceutical drugs until you're actually off of them completely, and then you're actually free from the system, you know. So, you know, instead of just bogging you down with all the negative stuff, I want to give you guys an option. And, you know, there is actually a natural option to help with being depressed, and the natural option is actually herb called St. John's wort. Now, you know, the name doesn't sound very great, but it is a very strong and powerful herb. It's been used for thousands of years, and you only need to look into your natural health stores for this powerful herb. And, you know, and also remember that natural herbal remedies do not act straight away. You know, it's going to take a couple of weeks for them to get into your blood and start actually changing how you feel. So, you know, I think normally about 4 to 6 weeks you're going to start noticing a real big difference. I'm going to put a picture up here of St. John's wort. There you go. And let's move on to tip number 4. Okay guys, so tip number 4 is actually exercise. I'm definitely exercising my brain making this video. However, I think if we exercise for about 15 minutes per day, physical exercise, we release, you know, feel good hormones such as melatonin and serotonin. You know, this gives us satisfaction that we've actually achieved something for ourselves. You know, set yourself a personal best, and remember, it doesn't matter if you're not an Olympic champion. If you can only do 1 push-up, that's fine. Before you know it, you'll be able to do 10. I especially enjoy rebounding, which is basically a trampoline. It's a very stiff trampoline though, it's not like a very bouncy one you're going to go bouncing into the clouds. This gives my whole body and my internals a workout as well, my organs, strengthens them up. So, you know, also I'm going to put a link down below where you can find a rebounder and start jumping for joy. You know, it's a great way to exercise. And, you know, you don't need to do extreme exercise as well. You know, like high intensity is not necessarily required. You just need to go out for a walk for 15 minutes, breathe in some fresh air, and you know, you'll be on the right path. So, moving on to tip number 5. Welcome back to tip number 5. So, well done for making it this far. Tip number 5 is sleep. You guessed it. So many of us are not actually following our circadian rhythm, which is our natural biorhythm, which is sleeping after sunset and awakening at sunrise. This biorhythm is actually pre-programmed into us all to allow us to grow and repair our bodies every night we sleep. The best way to describe this is to look at plants. You know, when the flowers they come in and they actually go to sleep when the sun goes down, and they open when the sun comes up. You know, that's, you know, I think we need to look at nature a bit more closely to actually realise how we're supposed to live. So, you know, if you deprive yourself of sleep, you know, it can be very dangerous and play havoc on your body. I'd recommend getting like a minimum of 8 hours sleep per night or day. If if you have to work the night shift, you know, I understand we live in a crazy modern world, but you know, we do our best, and follow this circadian rhythm. Sleep deprivation and depression has been closely linked together, so you know, I think we need to get this sleep in as much as we can, and the hours between 10 and 2 have also been researched into, where our bodies let off the most human growth hormone, you know, to repair us and help us keep feeling good and help us young and just make us be happy people all together. So you know, like not just that, I think sleeping overall just improves the way we look, which is an important factor for our well-being. You know, if you're having trouble sleeping, there are actually some natural remedies that you can use to help induce sleep, as well as improve the quality and the longevity of your sleep as well. So you know, some of my favourite herbs would be chamomile, Calea zacachichi, the dream herb is also called, valerian root, and passion flowers. You can find most of these in your health food store, or they'll be online as well. You know that it also, as well as taking these herbs, you know, you want to ensure that you get enough good quality food, and you want to make sure you get enough food. Your diet plays a vital role on your sleep, actually, and if your body has been well nourished during the day, it will help you sleep during the night, and you won't be in starvation mode when it comes to bedtime. So yeah, try not to eat just before you go to sleep, as this can induce nightmares and sleeplessness due to fermentation going on inside of your gut. If you ever had cheese before, just before you go to bed, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's move on, guys, to tip number 6. Hello, here we are at tip number 6. Tip number 6 is release and let go. Now, many times we hold on to past emotions and memories, and this can lead us to feeling depressed or feeling sad. You know, life is a journey of ups and downs. It's how we play the game that counts, and what decisions we actually make. You know, you can sit on a roller coaster and you can experience the thrill or the fear of your life. You know, I think, you know, choose the positive in the moment. You know, we have to forgive ourselves first and foremost. You know, nobody is actually perfect in this world, and we all have flaws, including myself. You know, no matter how perfect you think someone actually is, it's likely that your life is actually a lot better than what you're making out now to actually be. So, you know, at the end of each day, you know, just tell yourself, I forgive myself for any problems that I've had today, you know, any misunderstandings. You know, take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, and just relax. You know, do not sweat the small stuff. You know, I found also that treating myself to a massage as well really helps get rid of that extra emotional baggage trapped within our bodies. You know, especially if you look at it as when they massage us, they untie knots. So, you know, a bit of spiritual thing for you there. So yeah, when we treat ourselves to a massage as well, you know, it's a really nice, extraordinary experience, and you know, you may even fall asleep as well if you have trouble sleeping. You know, slowly you will actually release and let go. So there is also something else called EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique, which is extraordinary if you would like to deal with stress and anxiety when you're out in the public, or even when you're at home, anywhere really. It's a great way to kind of help you deal with it when it comes up. So, you know, I would recommend that you actually try breathing exercises as well. This will help you balance your well-being. many of us are actually breathing really slow, really shallow, and not slow and deep at all. You know, breathing correctly actually has a major effect on our blood circulation and our emotions. So, you know, a good breathing exercise would be to, you know, use your nose only, breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, but then release over 8 seconds. This is a great way to actually really slow down that heart rate and actually relax your body completely. So, I've come up with my own emotional freedom technique, and that is the paper plane method. Now, what you need to do here is write down all the things that you believe are making you feel depressed, sad, upset, anxious, and write it down on a piece of paper and then fold it into an aeroplane. I'll put a link down below on how you can make a paper airplane, and then go out or just find the highest place that you can find that is safe, and then throw this airplane. And as you throw this airplane, think of all your fears and all of your problems going away and flying away, and you know, it has a one-way ticket and this plane's never coming back. You know, do not worry about what is not in your control. We only have one pair of hands. We cannot save the world on our own. We all need to get together, join together, communicate together, and create a better life for all of us. You know, I think we're so fortunate to actually be here as human beings, co-creators, you know, having the ability to choose our own reality and experiences, you know, whereas, you know, you look at animals, they're only limited to what they can actually do. So, you know, we are the ones here on this planet making the difference. So I hope that's helped you. So let's move on to tip number 7. Okay, well done. We've made it to tip number 7, which is create a higher vibration. Now ask yourself, you know, what kind of people are you surrounded by? Are they negative beings? Always complaining about this and that? Is that the kind of vibe you want to absorb onto yourself? I know I personally don't. You know, I've personally made drastic changes in my social circle, you know, for the betterment of my health too. You know, I've, you know, find people with similar interests as you, connect with people who really want to live, and that will give you a positive uplift too. So find a hobby. That's a fantastic way to discover your true passions in life. You know, one of mine is actually gardening. It's a great way to watch plants come to life from seeds and supply me some of the best tasting foods ever. So find a group, find a forum, watch YouTube videos and discover your true passion. Set a goal. You know, I learned in order to change my life, you know, I had to actually make actions. So, you know, I take a notepad and I actually write down what I'd like to achieve today, in this week, in the next year, and then I try and tick off as many things as the year goes on, and that way it gives you something to be proud of, gives you something to be, makes you feel like you've achieved something. So I think it's a great thing to do is making a action list. So okay, so we're moving on to the final tip now, which is tip number 8. Here we are at tip number 8. Well done for making it this far. So our last tip is music and meditation. Now, do you know that we are made up of over 70% water? And did you know that water is also controlled by vibration and unseen forces, the moon? So a lot of the time when we listen to music, we're listening to music that has been detuned out of natural balance. You know, it's been detuned out of certain frequencies that benefit us. You know, this includes 90% of modern music. Conspiracy. So these instruments have been detuned from 432 Hz to 440 Hz, and this actually affects our own frequency. You know, that's why some music makes you feel angry and some music makes you feel happy or sad. There are sacred frequencies called solfeggio frequencies. Please do your research on this. You know, that resonate at a specific hertz or frequency, and these alter our state of being, you know, including healing the body, our emotions, and these are administered through the actual sound waves that we take into our ears. So when we change our frequency, we literally are changing our world. There are a ton of free videos on YouTube where you can listen to solfeggio frequencies. I'll put a link down below so you can actually go and look for yourself and experience this fantastic music. With music as well, you can also help yourself meditate. You know, putting on some really nice, slow, relaxing music can induce your meditation, can help you completely relax your body and focus your intent, you know, and vision how you want your life to actually be. So, you know, get comfortable, close your eyes, look up towards your third eye, in between your eyebrows there. Breathe slowly but deeply. It's now time to use your imagination and show yourself the kind of person that you want to be, the kind of person you want to become. What kind of things do you want to experience in your life? You know, and repeat this, you know, every day for 15 minutes onwards, and your life is going to be changed. You just have to look into the law of attraction. You know, actions create your reality. Thoughts create actions, and actions create your reality. So it all starts in our hearts, it all starts in our minds. So I hope this has been a very helpful video for you guys. If you please like and subscribe, that would be great, and pass it on to people who may find this information useful. And if you've got any questions or comments, please post them in the famous box down below, and I'll try and get back to you. But also, can we all help each other as well and develop this community? So yes, I really hope that you go on living a full, healthy, vibrant and undepressed life. So thanks very much for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye.